We're going to do a fairly gentle yoga class today. But as with all yoga, please be careful. We'll start by building our basic posture. So come into your feet, four corners, front left, front right, back left, back right, lifting your toes, shifting your weight, find those four corners, and then push down through the feet, bending the knees a little bit. And as you start to straighten the knees, feel yourself pulling upwards through the arches as if you just wanted to enhance the arch of the foot just a little bit. And then you can let the toes settle down. The knees need a micro bend. Be especially careful about locking the knees, especially if you're hyperextending or can hyperextend your knees. Give your tailbone a little tuck. Pull your belly in slightly towards the spine and up slightly towards the ribs. Open your chest. Let your shoulders settle. Let your arms open. Move your head around and start to relax a little bit. Come into your breathing. Take a long breath in through your nostrils if possible. Long breath out. And start to match the duration of the inhale with the duration of the exhale. Just counting 1, 2, 3, exhale, 3, 2, 1. And that's what I mean by regulation of the breath. Keeping those two, the inhale, the exhale, roughly equal. And some of you will take longer, and some of you will breathe a little more quickly, and that's natural. Over time, work on elongating the inhale and the exhale. Shoulders are back and down. Arms are at the side. Palms are slightly forward. Notice if you've shifted the weight to the front or to the back. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up, and you can bind your hands in some way, interlock your fingers maybe. Let your shoulders drop down your back. Engage your core, belly button to spine and upwards towards ribs. Inhale. Then exhale, just bend off to one side or the other. Doesn't matter because we'll do both sides. Use one hand to pull on the other hand. The side that's bending outward, push that foot down into the mat. A couple of deep breaths. Little deeper, and then inhale coming up. Check your shoulders, check your core. Exhale, take the other side. Pushing your hips out, pulling a little, and the side that's bending, the foot is firm into the mat. Check that micro bend in the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhaling, coming up to center. We'll take a little back bend. Shift your weight to your heels. Lift a little through your chest. Push your pelvis forward. Engage that core again. Keep it nice and strong. Don't try and go too deep. Lift the chin. And then remember that progress in yoga is regulation of the breath and the pose. So only go deep. Only go as deep as you can nicely regulate the inhale and the exhale. And then inhale, come up to center, hands drop to the heart and slide down the legs. Firm the core as we take a nice forward bend. Releasing your hands down to the mat. You can walk this out a little bit. Some of you will want to drop your hips all the way to your heels into a squat. Warm up the legs, warm up the low back, spine. Good, nice, steady. Inhale, lift the hips. Coming back up to standing. And then reposition the feet, get committed to the four corners of the feet. Inhale, half lift, long and strong, engaged core. Exhale, keep everything engaged as you bend forward. And then with a slight bend to the knees and push into the feet, inhale, coming all the way up. Good, hands together, side bend again. Good, either side is fine. Should feel a little differently now that you've warmed up a bit. Don't hold the breath. Regulate the breathing. And then inhale up, taking the other side. Inhaling up to center. Good, back bending. Shift a little weight to the heels, push the pelvis forward. Only go as deep as you can, breathe steadily. And then inhaling up, we're forward bending again. So take the hands down wherever they're comfortable. Engage the core, keep the spine long, neck long. All the way down to the mat. Do whatever's comfortable here. Drop onto your heels if you like. Curve the back, curve the neck. Pushing back into the feet, committed. Inhale, we're rising all the way up. Good. Exhale, hands at heart. So space the feet, hip width apart. Get committed to the four corners. And then we're going to come into a partial squat. So pushing your arms out in front of you, then pull them back so that your chest is open. The arm bone is in the shoulder socket. You don't have to have the arms perfectly straight. Elbows are pulled back slightly. Start to engage the core, belly button to spine and ribs. And then slowly start to drop down. Good. Giving the tailbone a little tuck so you're flattening the low back slightly. Come to where you're comfortable, but there's a little bit of effort required, and breathe. And then inhale, slowly coming back up. Hands come behind the back, bind the hands, take a forward bend. Good. Push to the feet, inhale, coming back up, slight back bend. Chest is nice and open, take a couple of breaths. All right, release the arms. Check the feet, nice alignment, four corners, micro bend to the knee. Arms are up, shoulders are back, arm bone plugged in. Slight tuck to the tailbone, engaged in the core. Inhale, exhale. Slowly drop in. Maybe you're coming a little deeper this time. Regulate the breath. 3 to 4 counts in, 3 to 4 counts out. Inhale, pushing and coming up. Hands behind the back. Bind the hands slowly with an engaged core, reaching forward and downward. Good. A couple of bends to the knees. Come into a squat if you like. And then engaging with the feet, we push up into standing. Okay, walk that out a little bit. Forward and back on your mat. Another balancing pose. So left foot forward, right foot slightly back. Find the four corners of the left foot. Get the knee over the center of the foot. And then come up into balance. Right leg spins around and crosses. And then hands can come to heart, or hands can come to knee, or if you want to, move over near a wall. That's totally fine. Take a slight squat. The butt is sticking out a little bit. Core is engaged. Fix your gaze forward and slightly downward. If you're steady in your gaze, the balance will come more easily. And breathe. And then a slight bend to the knees, push into the foot. Coming up, walk it forward, walk it back. Right foot. Get the foot firm, get the knee in place. Squeeze the thigh, straighten the leg. Cross. Set your gaze. Bend as deep as you need. Focus on stability and regularity in the breathing rather than going super deep. And then pushing, step back, walk it off. Okay, another balancing pose. Left foot forward, knee over the ankle, push in. Right knee is going to come up. Now engage the core and feel how the core is lifting that knee, and then wrap the hands at the knee, pull it a little higher, squeeze the standing thigh so that leg is very engaged. Shoulders are back and down, chest is open. Good. Have some neutrality about the approach. Breathing. Easy. Drop the knee down, drop the foot down, walk it forward, walk it back. It's just fine to get in the range of a wall to take this posture. So right foot is down, left knee comes up, belly is engaged, right or standing thigh is engaged. And so keep your balance at the wall like this. Fix your gaze. Keep the standing thigh engaged, squeezing. And what we find in yoga is the regulation of our breath and also the regulation of effort. What is the right amount of effort to use in any posture? You'll find if you regulate effort, you can stay in the posture longer, and that gives you a greater chance of regulating your breath. Stepping out. Beautiful. Walk it forward, walk it back. Another balancing posture, a little more difficult. If you have trouble with your balance, you might want to be near a wall for this one. Stepping into our left foot, slight lift in the toes. Knee is positioned over the ankle. Inhale, exhale, push and come to standing. Bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand and grab the inside of the right ankle. And then drop the knee down close to the opposite knee and let this right shoulder ride back. Firm in the belly, firm in the standing thigh. This may be your posture. If your balance is good, inhale the arms up, arm bone into shoulder socket, and then push and kick. This posture is a balance between reaching and kicking. Reaching and kicking. Only go as deep as you can breathe. And then inhaling up and out. Good. Walk it forward and back. And you may find if you stay in the posture just a little ways in that you can then come in more deeply after you stabilize. So try that this time. Stepping into the right foot. Left leg is up. Inside of the foot, two knees come together, core is engaged, right leg is engaged. Gaze is set forward, slightly downward, inhale. And then balance, kicking action and a reaching action. Inhale, coming up and out, walk it off. You definitely find that's a little easier on a hard floor than on a carpet where you get it slightly imbalanced. Okay, so lift the knees, step that out a little bit. We're going to come to the back of our yoga mat. Next posture, airplane posture. Start with your hands bound behind your back, either grabbing opposite finger, opposite wrist, or hands can go in the waistband. Inhale, exhale, left foot steps forward. Come into the left foot, up into balance, right foot slightly off the ground, core is engaged. Inhale, exhale, bending slightly forward. Keep your gaze steady. Work on your breathing. Count the duration of the inhale. Match the duration of the exhale. Stepping back. Good. Back of the mat. Feet together. Walk it out. Opposite side. Just look along the line of the mat. Inhale. Step it forward. Firm in the foot. Exhale. Preparation. And then slowly, by fixing the gaze, squeeze the standing thigh. Inhale and exhale. Slowly stepping back. Good. Walk it out a little bit. We'll take that one more time. Back of the mat, a little different with the arms this time. We'll come into airplane. Inhale, step forward, stack the knee and the ankle. Push up, arms out. You might come a little lower. It is a back bend. The chest is forward, the core is engaged. Right foot steps back, step back to the mat. Right foot, inhale, step forward. Preparation. Push into balance and fly. Notice if the left hip is lifted way high, start to drop it down a little more in balance with the right hip. The deep core of the body powers the standing leg. And step back and out. Good job. Walk it off a little bit. And then turn sideways on your mat and step one foot out so you're in a straddle on the yoga mat. And you can either angle the toes out a little bit, especially if you're tight up the backside of your body, or make the interior of the foot like railroad tracks. Get into the four corners of the feet. You'll find your feet have a tendency to rotate inward. Push to the outside edge slightly. Engage. Inhale, lift. Exhale, with a nice long straight spine and engaged core, slowly bending forward. Adjusting the hands as you need to down the leg. Stop about halfway down. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to go a little deeper. Many of you will need to bend the knees, and that's fine. And then start to lift through the hips, adjusting as you need to allow yourself to come more deeply into the posture. Shift right, shift left. Now just work on your breathing. Walking the hands back into position, recommitting to the feet. Hands up into the legs or to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. Step the right foot next to the left foot, and then walk it out a little bit. Beautiful. Coming to the front of the mat, build your basic mountain posture. You guys know how to do it. Feet, micro bend knee, tuck tailbone, open chest. Left foot comes into balance. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Toes are angled straight out. Drop into the front knee. Chest is facing the left side of the mat. Straighten the front knee, and then bend the front knee. Keep the muscles engaged 2 times, 3 times. Straighten and bend. Left arm forward, right arm back. Palms are flipped out. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Start to reach forward and then downward. Right leg is engaged in pushing. Right elbow inside. Left elbow inside left knee. Open and engage the core. Inhale and exhale. Right hand draws you up, straightening the front leg. Adjust the back foot a little bit and then step forward, front of the mat, walk it out. Right foot down. Left foot comes into balance. Inhale, lift and bring it forward. Exhale, send it back. Check the toes, pointing out. Right knee, straighten. And release. Chest open. Right arm forward. Left arm can be back, or if your balance is better, keep your left arm at your left hip. Drop into the knee. Reach forward with the torso and the arm. Elbow to inside of knee. Chest is open. Left hand pulls and draws you up as you straighten the front leg. Adjust the back foot slightly and then step up to the front of the mat. Good. Walk it out 1, 2, 3 times forward and back. Come to the front of your mat. Set your feet again. Come into your left foot. Right foot steps back, and this time we stay on our toes, or we start to straighten our front leg and push our back heel down into the mat. Ultimately, we end up with 2 pretty straight legs, 2 pretty grounded feet. Inhale, hands to heart, engage the core. Exhale, spiral the thighs inward, slowly coming forward and downward. You may not go too far. Remember, we're regulating our breathing, and that's the most important thing. Some of you could release a hand to the forward leg and come deeper. Some of you can release to the mat. Wherever you are in the posture, be safe and be satisfied and regulate your breath. Feet are engaged. My front knee is slightly bent, and I'm getting a nice stretch in the low back. And then in pushing into the feet, inhale, the body's coming up. Good. Step forward and walk it out a little bit. Opposite side. Right foot down. Left leg into balance. Left foot steps back. We're on the toes to start, and then we push back into the heel. You can turn the foot out a little if you need to, straightening the front leg. Maybe a slight bend in the knee. Inhale. The body's coming forward. I'm using the hands for support, steadiness. This might be a good stopping place. Bend the knee to keep the leg safe. The core is engaged. The breathing is regulated. Inhaling, walking my hands back up the leg. Step forward, and again, walk it out. Easy and steady. We're going to come down to the mat. So coming to your knees, positioning yourself on your mat. We're going to lay down on our bellies. And we'll start with just a little resting posture, stacking hands at front of mat, forehead down. Moving the hips a little right and left allows me to release the low back. Good. Tucking the toes under, hands alongside the body. Make the body into one nice, long, firm piece of wood. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 20 points of the hands, base of each finger pushing, tip of each finger clawing. Walk it out a little bit. Taking your feet out wide if you need to. Bending opposite knee, straightening opposite leg. Good. Coming down onto the knees, lowering onto the mat. First posture is Cobra. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat and engage the legs so that the knees slightly lift. Tuck the tailbone and your pubic bone pushes down into the mat. And then with your hands, you're just assisting, pushing pubic bone into mat, lifting body up. You should have a nice gradual curve in the low back. Shoulders are down the back. Regulate the breathing. Lower pole of the body is quite engaged. Guard against overbending at the low back. Pubic bone is pushing. Exhale, slowly release down, stack the hands. Rest the forehead. Good. Sphinx posture. Hands out slightly in front and then pull the elbows back so the elbows are just below the shoulders. The arms are extended. 20 points of the hands, slightly engaged. Tailbone is tucked. So if you leave the lower body of the glutes loose and you push up, you start to feel a wrinkle or kind of a fold in the low back. So engage the glutes, push the pubic bone in, and then you should feel that wrinkle, unwrinkle, and become more of a gradual curve. You should take pressure off the low back. Super important. Feet are pushing into the mat slightly. Shoulders are backing down. Chest is opening. Glutes are engaged. Pubic bone pushing to the mat. Regulating the inhale length to the exhale length. And then release slowly downward. Place your hands alongside the body. Come up onto your knees. Knees wide, hips back, child's pose, hips pushing over the heels. Not a lot of engagement here. Resting posture. Let the low back rest and stretch. Deep breath in. Deep breathing out. Good. One more posture on our belly. Come forward and down onto the belly. Space the legs hip width apart. Arms back alongside the body. Turn the palms up. Back of the hand touches the ground and then lift it slightly. Tuck the pubic bone down into the mat. Lift the arms, lift the legs. Good. Modified locust pose. Shoulders are down the back and lifting. Don't dump into the low back. Work from the deep core. Regulate the breathing. And then slowly release down. Push back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touching, hips back over the heels. Let's come up onto our knees and then switch onto our butts. Right leg comes out forward towards the right front corner of the mat. Left sole of foot pushes into right thigh. Left knee is pushing off to the left. Take a look at the right leg. It'll roll out naturally. Roll it in so that the knee faces up, so that the toes face up. And then with a slightly engaged core, rotate to face those toes. Inhale. Exhale, slowly work your way into a forward bend. I like to grab the outside of the leg and pull just forward and just downward. We're stretching out of the low spine. And work on regulating your breathing here. Your exhales will allow you to go slightly deeper into the posture. And then using your hands, your arm strength, lift your way out, slightly engaged in the core, coming up in one piece. Good. Let your body naturally come forward. Take a moment here, a breath. And then switch it up. Left leg out. Right sole of foot in. Adjust yourself on your mat. Look at the natural roll of the leg and then correct it. Engage the core and rotate towards the extended leg. Inhale. Exhale. Easy, steady, with the engaged core slightly supporting the low back. We come forward and down. And we turn our attention to the breathing. And then, when it's time, slowly walk your way back, up, and out. Extend both legs into the letter V to a level that's comfortable for you. You may need to bend the knees up, no problem. Reach the arms out towards the feet. Engage the core. Inhale. Exhale. Start to come forward, lifting up out of the low back. You can take the feet when you can get to them. And then the point is we're reaching forward with our chest as opposed to just curving forward. Keep elongation in the low spine. Reaching the chest forward. The gaze looking beyond your mat. Spine is neutral, neck is a part of the spine. Focusing back to the duration of the inhale and the duration of the exhale. And then slowly coming up and out. We'll take a twist. Two different ways to take it. One is extend the left leg forward, bend the right knee, step it up and over, and then taking this knee and pushing with the hand behind, straighten the spine, lift the chest. Alternatively, some of you may bend the forward knee, pointing the left knee forward, stepping the right foot up and over, and then taking this knee, pushing, and this pushing with the arm is important because it allows you to lift the chest. You don't want to do this twist while you're slumped. Push, open, engage the core. You must engage the core before you twist, and then slowly start twisting. Let the eyes lead the way. Be gentle on the neck. And then slowly release. And then taking the opposite side, either extending the right leg or bending the right knee. Left foot stepping up and over the right. Left hand, very important. Push and lift. The left hand is quite supportive. Engaged core. Slowly and steadily, focusing on breathing the whole way. Good. Release. Pigeon. Right knee forward. This one's for you, Paul. Left leg back. Pushing up onto your hands. Flex the right foot to protect the knee. And then let the hips settle down. Some of you may need a block or a blanket under this right hip to elevate it slightly. I probably do. And then again, reach forward with the chest. So you're not just curving the low back, you're extending out of the low back. Easy, steady. And what you'll begin to find in yoga is that the breath regulates the posture. So the breathing regulation is more than just gaining control over the breath. It actually regulates the muscular action as well. And if you regulate the breathing, you find you begin to enjoy the postures more. It takes the struggle out of the posture. And you'll find that that breathing method works in regular life as well. When you're in a stressful situation, if you begin to regulate your breathing consciously, sometimes you can take the struggle out of the situation, rising back up. I like to tilt onto my right hip and swing my left leg around and then set up, left knee pointing forward, right leg back, coming up to begin with, finding balance. As I said, many people, including myself, usually need a prop under the left cheek, work the right leg back, and then make sure you're extending out of the low spine. As you drop in, And then easy, steady coming up and out. Either lay down on your mat for the meditation, or sit against a wall, or sit on your mat or on a piece of furniture, anywhere. Easy, simple. 3 to 4 minutes of reassurance. Relax the eyes. We don't try and regulate the breath in meditation. We simply allow the breath to come as it will. And we do the same thing with the thoughts. A lot of people feel that meditation is about reducing the amount of thinking, and in fact, to some degree, it's about ignoring it, just letting it happen. And to some degree, it can help to acknowledge it, to name it. I'm thinking again. And then to move your focus of your mind back to your breathing. So while we don't control the breath, focus on the inhale and the exhale. With a little reassurance, and a humble request, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I walk with ease within my community. And bringing another person's vision into your mind, hold it. May she be safe. May he be happy. May they be healthy. Together we will walk with ease within our community. I'll continue to rest or to sit using those images. Thanks for joining me. And may you be safe, happy, healthy, and easy. Namaste, everyone.